Good morning, Kitchen Witches. This is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine. And we're going to pull a card. And this is going to be everything you need to know for the day. You didn't think one card could do that, did you? But it can. It can and it will. Every day I pull one card. That is my inspiration. And how I decided to do this series is because I was already working on the magazine, pulling cards for who is going to be the main player in the chapter that we are creating, or cameos in the chapter, right? The cards that are going to take the back seat but still be very prominent. And then from there, I'm like, why am I pulling a card for my inspiration for the day and also pulling other cards for magazine? So why don't I just do it all together and put it up on YouTube so you guys can benefit as well? So that's what I did. Now, we are pulling the card of today, and that is the Empress. Beautiful Empress energy. Ah, I love that. We all need Empress energy every once in a while, if not always, but hard to do. So the Empress is the third archetype that the Fool meets on their journey. They take their step off of the mountain, precipice, ledge, and fall into the realm of the Magician, who teaches them about all of the elements that they have already within them. And that basically is everything they need to get through life, right? They can tune in to any of those elements at any time, and it will basically lead the path forward, right? You don't need to worry, but you need to learn how to use them. So the Magician teaches the Fool, and then the Fool says thank you and leaves the realm of the Magician to walk into the higher realms of the High Priestess. And the High Priestess says, okay, you just learned how to use all those elements. You have everything you need, but there's going to be times where you're going to need to tap into the higher realms. And let me teach you how to do that. So the Fool says thank you and moves on to the gardens of the Empress. Number 3. 3 is just as the journey began, starting with 1, which is the Magician. You learn about yourself and what you have. 2, now you're opening it up to others, right? So others come in 2, right? Pairs or other, the other, not just you anymore. Now we're in 3. We're bringing in the social aspect of more than just another, but many. And that's where our Empress, wonderful Empress, comes in. Because she's Mother Earth, right? So she now teaches the Fool about tangibility. Your feet are on the ground, my friend. Can you feel it? Can you feel the hardness of a rock to the softness of the sands at the ocean? Can you hear the bird song and the squirrels talking to each other, and the twigs breaking under your feet? Can you see the stars at night and the moon that comes up readily over the beautiful meadow, right? Can you smell the decay of the rotting wood and the lush scent of a mushroom field, right? Or just the breeze against your skin. This is all earthen energy, which the Empress rules. She is Mother Earth, yes. So she is teaching us something. She also teaches us that you can never bargain with Mother Earth. Mother Earth is going to provide for you, always. But Mother Earth also takes away. So with everything you've learned so far, also know that you need to be one with the earth. And never forget that. Because it's easy for us to do, right? We lock ourselves inside. We sit in front of a computer for 8 to 10 hours a day, if not more. And if not the computer, it's turn off the computer. Yes, that's downtime, but then we turn on the TV. Where's nature? Where? Where is it? Is it looking out your window and saying, oh, it doesn't look so hot outside. It looks kind of humid and gross. I'm not going out today. Or is it rain? Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's snowing. Oh, it's, there's always something going on that prevents you from stepping outside your home. And you got to. You have to reconnect. Even if it's taking your dog out for a walk 3 times a day, 2 times a day, whatever is good for you. And you use the same path. Every morning I walk my dog from our mailbox to our neighbor's, which is, I don't know, less than a quarter mile. And I'm walking up the road. I see the same trees all the time, but I'm seeing them in different stages of the seasons. So right now it's summer, and then I see fall, and it's the sunlight is just different, the way it comes through the trees that are changing color. I see it in winter when you could barely walk down my road because of the snow. And then, comes spring, and everything is, the sounds and sights are completely different, but it's the same exact walk I'm doing every day. So nature is a beautiful thing, and the Empress will show you how to appreciate it in your life. Now, when we get the Empress in a spread, it usually means that. It usually means, you know what? It's time to reconnect with nature. In any way you can do that. Bring a little more nature into your life. Have a picnic if it's a nice day, right? Just sit outside. It doesn't even need to be on the grass. You can just sit on your front stoop or your fire escape or, your deck if you have one. Just go outside, please. The Empress wants you to. So now, we're going to bring our Empress friend into the kitchen. And how do we do that? Well, what else but farm-to-table meals, right? Because the farm is where everything happens for our food, right? And there's a huge disconnect there too. We leave our computer, shut it down, we turn off the TV. Now we are going outside, but guess what? We get into our car. And then we walk 4 steps to get into the grocery store. And then from there, we have no understanding of where our fruit or vegetables or meat comes from. We just see it, looks good in the package. I want that, buy it. And then we walk 3 steps back to inside our car, 2 steps into the house, turn on the TV, and start to cook dinner. Does that sound familiar? So here we go, farm-to-table meals. For breakfast, we're going to do quiche. And we're going to do a potato crust because the Empress loves potatoes. In the magazine that includes the Empress, this was chapter 1. Sorry, I don't even know my own chapters. Chapter 1, so this one came directly after the Fool. And I highlighted the Empress, the High Priestess, and Strength, the 3 nurturers of the major arcana. And within that, we interview the Empress, and we also plan meals that she would make. And one of the things that she just loves more than anything else is the potato, because it grows underground. So it's got that earthen, grown from the darkness to emerge to the light and give us such nourishment. A potato is full of nourishment. It really is. So there you go. It's everything the Empress would want. So I'm going to bring potato into all 3 meals today. For our quiche, we have the shredded potato crust. So easy enough to do. You can buy a bag of frozen hash browns and just defrost them a bit and then press them into your pie plate, par bake them, and go about making your quiche. Whatever you want to put in your quiche. Say you went to the farmer's market and now you have an abundance of zucchini and radish and green beans. Well, guess what? Cut them up, toss them in. Because the other components are eggs and cream or half and half, or milk, but cream and half make it more luxurious, which Empress would love. And then fresh herbs, right? Even in dead of winter, you can buy fresh herbs. So score them. Get some fresh thyme. If you have the luxury of growing thyme, seek out a variety called lemon thyme. It's amazing. It's my favorite. Lemon thyme goes beautiful with this. Chives, of course, right? Potatoes, chives, it's gorgeous. And if you don't want to use cream or half and half, you can use sour cream with the eggs, right? A little bit. Dollop some at the bottom and then it'll come up. Or ricotta, right? Any kind of soft cheese, goat cheese, right? Any kind of soft cheese with those herbs and the vegetables and the potato crust. Into the oven it goes, and within an hour, you have quiche. And it's one of those things that gives back, right? Because it came from the land, and now you're going to portion it. If you're not feeding, of course, 8 people, which is what typical quiche, nice sized pieces would feed. Wrap each piece individually once it's completely cooled and freeze it for the next day and the next day and the next day. So it gives back. We like that. That is breakfast. Now, moving on to lunch, I'm thinking chicken sausage and gnocchi skillet. So you've got your chicken sausage, you've got your purchased or homemade gnocchi. And a gnocchi is a dumpling that's made with potatoes. Easy, so easy to do, right? You just have to bake your potatoes. Do not, if you're going to make it from scratch, do not boil the potatoes, no matter what the recipe says. Bake them. Because if you boil the potatoes are going to absorb all that extra water. And then you're going to have to use copious amounts of flour to get it dry enough to roll and then cut and then pan fry or boil, right? Boil first, then pan fry. But they just don't get, they're a little more mushy, and you want a dry potato. So the only way to do that is to bake them. And it does take time, but you could be doing a ton of other things while your potatoes are in the oven cooking. When they come out cool enough to open up, split them, let them air out and get a little cooler, right? So you can handle them. Scoop them out, and that potato flesh is what you're building your gnocchi with. And then it's flour, an egg, and you make it into a dough, a soft dough that can be rolled without sticking to you, and cut into little baby pieces that are boiled until they float to the top, and then you can pan fry them in butter. Yum. And then to the gnocchi, you're going to add some store-bought chicken sausage that's sliced, or if it's raw, then you take off the casing and you throw in the ground bits. And then any vegetable you wish to toss in, right? So you've got your potato, you've got your protein, and now, or your starch and your protein, so now add veg. Whatever you want to do. Green beans, lovely. Whatever you didn't use in your quiche from the morning, throw it on in, right? It's lunch, so it's not terribly, fussy. If you already have your starch, so you don't want to put any extra carbs. You don't want to do double carbs. That would really be bad. But I was going to say rice, but you don't need to, right? You could if you don't want to do the gnocchi. But there you go. And then a little broth, right? Chicken broth. If it's bone broth, that's even better, because the Empress would be all about that. We're going to use bone broth in dinner. So lunch, done. Moving on to dinner. Again, a little bit of a dumpling, again, using potatoes. We're going to do a spinach nundi. Nundis are literally dumplings made with potato, spinach. If you want to use the baby spinach, you'd have to saute it first, squeeze it super dry, or you can use frozen, that is thawed and squeezed super dry. You add that to the potato. Again, a little flour, so it's similar to a gnocchi, but it's not as dense. It's more fluffy, right? Very fluffy. So I believe baking powder is also in nundi, because it does want to rise a bit, yeah? And when it goes into the broth, which is bone broth on the stovetop, You scoop it out with your spoon, which I suggest oiling your spoon before it goes into the batter of the nundi to place on top of the boiling liquid, whatever it is. We're using bone broth today, but you can use anything, right? Anything. And then the nundi will sink to the bottom, and then it will float to the top. And when it floats to the top, give it another minute. Taste it if you feel that you need to see if it's done. And then it's served, right? Right in the bone broth. Beautiful. If you want to add another vegetable, go for it. But really, you've got, again, your starch. The bone broth is giving a little protein, but also all that gorgeous nourishment from the calcium from the bones, the collagen from the inside of the bones, all the things that keep our hair, our eyes, our skin, our nails all supple and beautiful. So, yes, spinach unundi in bone broth. That would make the Empress so happy. And see how she's lounging on her plush pillows in this vibrant garden with pomegranates on her muumuu. She is happy. She's happy. And she's happy within her earthen environment. And you can too, if you nourish yourself and nourish all those around you with your kitchen magic. See you tomorrow.